Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause because you guys were part of something great today. Part of great. Thank you. Come on. Gentlemen, what we have created was an absolute brotherhood. There were some guys in this league, without a doubt, that surprised us.
Right.
One being Joey around week 8. Okay. You know, let's give a round of applause for Joey around week 8.
Wait, why are we bringing up week 8?
Let's give Joey a round of applause around week 8. Let's get loud for Joey week 8.
Why are we bringing up week 8? Why are we week 8?
Let's all bring our attention to Smitty for saving Joey's life in this league.
You did.
Thank you, Smitty.
You did. You saved his life.
It was a good business deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third place champion.
Fuck out of here.
The person who you all thought was going to be first. I thought was going to be first.
This is like the worst time.
The third place winner. Please come up here and join me, Broadway Louie. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for Broadway. How about that? You know, it's hard to do that. It's hard to get third. It's hard to get third. It is hard to get third, brother. I don't know about y'all, but I think it's time for a speech. Speech.
You know, I did this for my cat who passed away a year ago. I told her that, you know, one day I would get third place in a fantasy league and she could be proud of that.
About it for you.
Trash.
Nah, this league was fire. I've definitely been in a lot of leagues. I won a lot of money in a lot of leagues. I thought it was gonna be easy after the first 8 weeks because it was looking beautiful. I was smoking the shit out y'all. Everybody went into a pack. Tommy, you my dog, but you was, you know, I was smoking on the jet fuel, you know what I mean? But you my dog. 6%, you know what I'm saying? He definitely was. I took 6% of my weed and put it in one joint. Yeah.
Remember your words.
That's 6%. Shout out to Zach, because, you know, when I was losing, he gave me confidence to win. You know what I mean? When I was on my losing streak, he showed me I was still a winner deep within. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made the playoffs. So shout out to Zach for being so terrible. Nick, you a hoe. I want my money. Hold on, come back to me. Go back to him. Now come back to me. Next season is mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the real winners of this fucking. You know, second place. There was legends that were told about second place.
Oh my fucking god. No, fuck that. Don't introduce this motherfucker. All right. So second place, they just called it the first loser, in all honesty. You know, I guess it's good because you get a little bit more money than third place, but you still lost. However, I respect it. You know, I should have been in the championship. Due to Joey hoe ass, I wasn't, you know what I mean? And, you know, Nick was one of the people I had a rivalry back and forth. We actually, the recap said that was my hardest task. I don't agree, but fuck it. He just so happens to be the commissioner as well. You know, but he won second place. The fearless leader, OG Session podcast own, Nicholas fucking Usher.
Let's get around.
Give it up for the second round.
I don't hear you. Hey, motherfucker, boo! This is your money, brother.
Fuck you.
This is your money, brother. And this is your money. And this is your money. This is your money, brother. Thank you. Cause I'm booing this shit to the bank, boy. I'm booing this shit to the bank, son. This is definitely your fucking money.
It is damn sure.
Brother, that's your fucking money. Alright, so I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Take your money.
This is 150, brother.
Take your money, man.
This is 150, brother. I appreciate y'all because I knew that creating this would be a good investment for me. And, you know, you guys are all just part of the plan, just puzzle pieces in my great plan. How about we get on to the man that really won this shit? The first inaugural OG Sessions Podcast Fantasy League winner, owner of Team Waddle House, Scott Amato. Let's get a round of applause.
Waddle House.
Congratulations, Scott.
The man himself.
Speech.
Here's a speech.
How'd you do it?
Drafting, playing against a bunch of scrubs.
Whoa! First shit talk of the season.
It's okay.
Hey, thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
For sure. Love
Good
you,
job.
man.
Hold that shit up for the people. Let's give my man a round of applause real quick.
I respect it.
I mean, this is beautiful.
If I had to accept that somebody won, it was you, because you had a great team.
If anyone besides Scott won this fantasy league, the best team didn't win.
Negative.
You're wrong.
Negative.
That's
My
all I'm
team-
saying.
Now he met her and started buying medium shirts.
Actually, this is a small ass shirt. I ain't gonna lie.
Who are you?
I am Joey Allen, team owner of Hurts to Be Me and Jingle Bells, Dingle Smells.
I am Scott Amato, owner of Team Waddle House.
Why the fuck am I here, man? Why am I here, man? I'm Broadway Louie, a.k.a. my team name, you lucky motherfuckers, with a middle finger, because they won't let me put middle fingers on the app.
My name is Smitty. I'm the team owner of Emotional Revenge.
Tommy D, UMB Players owner. You know what it is.
Nick Usher, owner of T Law and Order. Which team talked the most shit?
I got two. Broadway definitely did talk a lot of shit. He was always on the group chat annoying me. Like, that shit was crazy. That boy had nothing else to do but talk shit on the group chat, it felt like.
It was all of you. You all talk shit about me being 1-5. I had a 6% chance to make the playoffs.
It was a lot of guys. A lot of guys we can go with. Nick, Joey, Broadway, Smitty. You know,
I feel like nobody talks shit more than me.
But then Smitty as well, just because he was down bad in the early times, Mr. 6%, but that boy was talking shit. Still trash.
The 6% thing was the most annoying shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's just revenge season next year. It's emotional revenge for everybody all year.
Y'all was all scared of me for a while because y'all all knew y'all was going in the pack. I told my plug, I said, hey, I got a new pack every week for you.
I'll put you in the pack. I'll put you in the pack.
Yeah, everybody talk shit. I can't even put, like, who did it the most.
Which player do you regret drafting?
Multiple. Sky Moore, Deontay Johnson, learn how to catch a ball.
Calvin Ridley, 100%. That boy's trash. I wish I never picked him up, and I wish I never held on to him for so long, but I did. I wanted him to work out so bad.
Cam fucking Akers. You put up 7.9 points per game. Some bullshit.
Fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Tony Pollard at 3. That was just a bad. There was too many people on the board that ended up doing way better than him.
That's crazy. I got him in the second round. I believed in him. I really did. He had a lot of hype coming into the season. Shout out Evan Ingram, third round pickup. Now ask me why I didn't win. Ask me that question.
Cooper Kupp, second round. Not a great pick. CeeDee Lamb was on the board. Regret that kind of a lot, but it is what it is. Still came out on top.
Why did you not win?
Because I drafted Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram.
Fuck Joey. He started my losing streak. And after him, you know what I'm saying, I just went into a slide. I don't.
Because of Broadway Louie scoring 20 more points than me throughout the regular season. It's a sad twist, but you know what? My 1-5 start did matter at the end.
Players think this shit a game, and it's not. You know, I'll be first next year.
My only goal was to show all of y'all that T-Law can go to a Super Bowl if you have that drive and you have that commitment and you have that grittiness, which none of y'all have. But here's the thing. None of y'all have it. You don't have it like me. And I'm going to Carrabba's tomorrow night because of all you. And I want the damn trophy because unlike Scott, I like the money. I'll take Scott's money. How about next year I take Scott's money?
I thought the question was gonna get like flip flopped a little bit for me, but I don't even care about the money, bro. It's all about the hardware.
Which team felt the best to beat?
All y'all motherfuckers. Every week.
Broadway, 100%. That boy's trash, bro. He talks so much shit.
I believe you know that answer just by the look on your face, Nick.
Joey, week 4. After coming on here talking that shit, ooh, had to slide that ass, boy. Come on. Hey.
Third place, you really shouldn't even be allowed back in the league, honestly. Now that I think about it. Because third place is like, what did you even play for? Like, why did you even show up?
What place were you?
But third place is just like you're so irrelevant. Shout out Broadway, you suck. I was 7th place.
I would say Broadway or Usher, commissioner or the most shit talker out there. Probably bought Broadway because he did have a good squad. So let me pull this up. It was week 9, beat him 124-85. So that was a nice dub.
Y'all fucking lucky. Watch next season. I promise to God. On my mama. On my hood.
What would you change about the league?
I would like a 12-man league. I think that could open up one more playoff spot and give the 1 seed a bye week.
Nothing. Is that a fair answer?
I would change the format of the playoffs, not having the last week in there, just because I had to pick up a whole new team.
We should have had champagne for the ceremony.
Next year, we're upping that shit to 100. Y'all better start saving now. Because I got my 100. Y'all gonna have to all work overtime.
Which team do you wish finished last?
Nicholas Usher. Nicholas fucking Usher.
Nicholas Usher. Because he's a commissioner.
Joey Allen without a shadow of a doubt.
I would say your team, Nick. Just because you were talking a lot of shit even before this league started.
Anybody that made the playoffs above me.
Nick Usher. T-Law in fucking order.
I'm coming for y'all, though. I'm not playing. None of that smiley face shit next year, Scott. We not friends. Scott, we still be cool.
I'm coming back for to repeat next year. So
Is that a promise?
yeah, it's a promise.
We'll be back.
Now enjoy this episode with the winner himself, my boy Scott Amato. Yo, what is up, OGs? Man, we are here for a super special edition episode with my man Joey Allen.
What's up?
How are you feeling, brother?
Happy to be here as always.
So this is a special one going down. Mm-hmm. We've got, a lot over the past, what is it, like 12, 14 weeks?
14 weeks, I think.
We've been talking about this fantasy football league, and everyone that's been keeping up with the pod has known that it's been getting real heated. It was tough for some guys to get into the playoffs to even, to even qualify. There was like a 5-way tie for like the last 3 playoff spots. It got hectic at the end of the year.
There's a lot of shit talking going on too.
It is, a ton of shit by yourself.
Oh yeah.
You're guilty of that.
I mean, I had to. I was 10th place for a long time. I could get out of that hole.
No, but today, I'm very, very excited to be joined by the winner of the 2023 OG Sessions Podcast Fantasy Football League, a.k.a. team owner of Waddle House, the man himself, Scott Amato. Yes, sir. Hold up that trophy, baby. Hold up that trophy
Scotty
for the
boy,
people. Let's
champion.
go.
What's up, everyone?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Dude, so what a season. I didn't think that anyone was going to beat you. Like, so let's recap. Let's go ahead and just rewind all the people. Anyone that hasn't really been keeping up with the fantasy football, journey for everybody. Basically, Scott, when you first started off, I think it was like week 1, dude put up fucking like 250 points. It was like some crazy.
I don't think he had a week under 200 points.
Yeah. And from the draft, right away from the draft, I'm pretty sure the draft even ranked you number 1, or like the app itself. We drafted, it was like we had the party at my house, and then we all immediately right after the draft looked at the projections that ESPN kind of gives everybody, and Scott was ranked number 1. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right.
And so it was just like it was.
Was it Scott or was it Broadway?
It was one of the two.
It was one of the two.
And you guys were both up there.
I believe I was second.
Okay.
Behind Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we both have very good teams. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely top 2.
I'll be honest. If you guys didn't play each other, would y'all play like week 4 or 5 or something like that? It was kind of relatively earlier on in the season. I mean, y'all would have both gone undefeated, I think, for a long time, bro. And I can't really pinpoint exactly what happened to Broadway's team. Like, I don't really know like what went wrong like midway through the season there, where he just went on this like losing streak, and
He held off to like 3/4 of the way through, and then he just fell off bad. Yeah.
I mean, he almost missed the playoffs.
I
think.
beat him.
See,
I had 3 wins in the regular
that's
season.
crazy.
One of them was
That-
Broadway Louis.
Hey, man. Thank you, Broadway.
Thank you, Broadway.
Thank you, Broadway Louis, for that, honestly. But no, Scott, let's talk about like draft night, bro. So obviously we had the party at my house. All the boys, laptops open, draft starts. I remember, what position were you? Were you 6th?
5th or 6th.
You took Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And
CMC.
dude, I passed on him to take Tony Pollard.
I was
What a
right.
clutch pickup.
I was right in front of Scott, and I took Tony Pollard. And I just, and like looking back, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like all season, bro, I was like kicking myself for making that shit because I'm like, it was so clear as day that Christian McCaffrey was the guy to have on your fantasy team this whole season. And like Tony, he would like there'd be weeks where he'd kind of show signs and he'd put up like close to 20, but I mean, dude, you just can't have like the 7-point games and the fucking 3-point games. Like there was some. Dude, he put up some bad numbers. And I know Joey knows a lot about bad numbers in this fucking
Calvin
conversation.
Ridley.
Dude, Calvin Ridley.
Biggest disappointment in fantasy, I think.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I picked him up. He just had so much hype in the beginning. I thought he was going to be a big scorer, and Trevor and Calvin were going to have a great relationship, but that did not pan out throughout the season.
What do you think their problem is?
They don't have a good relationship. I don't think they have that bond that a quarterback and a receiver need, like the connection.
Do you think they're friends even?
Probably not.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say? But it doesn't seem like it on the field.
I was listening to Jaguars like talk radio, and one thing that they were talking about was basically someone was confirming that yes, Calvin Ridley has been running like the wrong routes in a lot of these situations, and like a lot of these Trevor throws that he's making, it's like he's supposed to be running like a deep post instead of like a deep go or something, you know, and the play ends up looking like it's all Trevor's fault because there's no receiver there, or it ends up being like a pick where there's no receiver there, or just a drop ball, whatever it is, and it ends up getting blamed on Trevor. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not off of like, the Trevor train yet. I'm
not either.
I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan, and I believe that he is, you know, the future of the Jaguars. If we're being honest, what about you, Scotty?
He's solid. The only thing is like he just misses some crucial throws.
Yeah. Turnovers. It's a
turnovers
thing.
And overthrows.
And the silly turnovers.
Turnovers. Yeah, he's got the structure and the build and the height and everything and the arm strength, but just like his inaccuracy at times in clutch moments. And yeah, that's my only concern.
How many games did you go to this season?
I went to 2 games, both of the primetime ones.
Yeah.
The Monday night against Cincy, which was an amazing. It was a great game to watch it. Not the right outcome we wanted, but solid game. And then the Ravens one.
Oh, that's a good one to go to.
The next week or two.
We have so many Ravens fans in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
That's just crazy.
Dude, well, I feel like any of those big teams, like Steelers fans are in Jacksonville. We got even a lot of Texans fans in Jacksonville. Like, you know, every team is kind of scattered around Jacksonville, especially when the Jaguars have had the like type of records they've had over the years and shit. No, but back to what you were saying about going to those games. Like, I was at the Cincy game, like, not gonna lie, the best fucking game ever up until, you know, the very ending. Even like up until like the last, like kind of when we went into overtime, like it was just getting like dicey, you know. I would have liked for us to have like maybe laid the hammer down a little bit on a team like that, especially when they don't even have Joe Burrow and shit. But you know, if we're being for real, like I wouldn't put that game on Trevor at all. A lot of people are gonna put that game on Trevor, and I'm like, dude, you can't. Like, and look at that O-line. Like, are we not? Nobody wants to talk about the fucking O-line. I'm like, dude, that is the heart and soul of an offense, is that O-line. Like, if your quarterback has no time, if your running back has no... Imagine how good... I was talking to Joey about this. Like
if ETN had a line?
If ETN had an O-line, imagine how good he would be.
Oh, I know.
Dude, and he's already so raw. But like, dude, if he had like a crazy, like Cowboys O-line, we're talking about the best running back in the league, honestly. I would think, dude, because he's
kind of small.
We've got like the worst O-line ever right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, boys, let's jump back into the. Do you have anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay, let's jump back into fantasy football because,
what'd you finish off at?
Including playoffs.
No.
Okay, so I think I was. I should check.
I'm gonna talk about mine. I won the first game. Thought I was hot shit. I was talking so much shit to everybody. I was like, no, I'm finna go to the championships. Hey, no chance I'm holding that motherfucking sign. And then proceeded to lose 9 in a row. It was so bad.
I was 9-5.
9-5. I was 3-11.
3-11.
Yeah.
So now,
but I finished 7th.
This is what I want to speak on. There it is. How?
Because playoffs. I won the playoffs. I won out.
I know.
I climbed quick.
So it was like the end of the playoffs, the loser of the consolation bracket.
Yeah.
that is the sign holder at the end of the day.
Yes.
It's not whoever loses.
Because there's still
regular
games.
season.
It's like the games still count. You're still playing. You're still
Right.
trying to get points. So why wouldn't you count that?
That's how it should be
Yeah,
in a lot of leagues.
100%.
You want to be
Do other
competitive and
leagues
play for something?
Do other leagues not count the consolation bracket?
Okay, so I think in most leagues there's no loser punishment. So the consolation bracket doesn't even matter. Most of the times it's like the people they're just playing just to like be bored and do something. You know what I mean? It's like
No, I didn't want to be last.
that's the thing. That's why I like the loser punishment. Like I've always every league that I've ever played in, they've never done the loser punishment. And you see that at the end of the season, like there was actually one league that I was in where they'd give out, it was like if you win if you're like number one in the consolation bracket or whatever, you get like $20, and second place will get like 15, then the next place will get like 10, and then the next place will get like 5. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like nobody should be playing for that 5th place spot. You know what I mean? You should be playing to either not be last or to be first. You know what I mean? And Joey was playing to not be last all season.
I was last for a long time.
You were last. Oh, I think you were last the whole season, except for after week 1. Well, week 1 you were tied for first with like 4 other people, or no, 5 people. Five were tied for first.
It's funny. The last game I was playing for 9th place, lost.
Wait, what? Oh,
The last game of the regular season.
So you entered the playoffs in 10th.
In 10th, yes.
God.
And then I won,
God.
Ended up 7th.
It's amazing that you pulled that
I
off.
climbed up.
What a run,
Dude, what a
run!
And you know what did it? It was
I like
it was because I dropped. It's crazy. I dropped Jalen Hurts and Tyreek Hill, my 2 best players on fantasy, and I got ETN. Who else did I get? Laporta and Debo Samuel, and then boys took off.
I want to speak on this.
Yeah.
I've got some words on this. I'm the reason that happened. I'm gonna
He
tell you right
is.
now.
This boy was like
Joey.
my manager.
So I convinced Joey to play fantasy football for the first time in his whole life. I'm like, we were hanging out at my house like whenever, and he had told me he never played fantasy football, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And you've been playing fantasy. I know you've been playing for years now, and so it's like, dude, fantasy football. that is why I get excited for the NFL season. Besides the Jags, it's like, dude, fantasy is like I love it. And so I knew he'd love it too, because it's like he loves football. He loves the Jags. Like, dude's gonna love it. So first week he gets in there, dude. First week that he won, he said, word for word, he said this, bro. He goes, "What if I never lose a game for the entire span of me playing fantasy football?
I should have never
just go
said that.
season to season, just winning games. Like I might go all the way until next season and not have a single L, bro." Dude didn't catch another win until like week 12 or something.
It was rough,
oh, it's just so funny how it turns. So anyway, week 12 comes around. Oh no, I'm sorry. Maybe the week like 10 or 11 comes around, and I'm like, all right, man.
Something's got to change.
Something's got to change. Like you do have Jalen Hurts, and you also have Tyreek Hill. And so I'm like, you've got a squad. Team's looking solid. You know what I mean? But like you're just not putting up points. Here was his issue: was he had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Hurts, but then everyone else was just mediocre, bro. Like his number
7 points.
I'd probably say his
points.
like best second player was like Calvin Ridley or maybe Evan Ingram. And so it's like, dude, his team was struggling for a hot minute. So he had CJ Stroud on his bench. And I was like, whoever you trade, you should try to make a big trade for somebody. And whoever you trade, you need to include that they give you a good wide receiver in return. So we hit, I made some phone calls, caught up the man, owner of, what was it? Emotional Revenge.
Emotional Revenge. Oh gosh.
Good old Smitty. Give that boy a little ring. He answers the phone. I'm like, you have 2 minutes to accept this offer. Like, this offer will not be available for long. But we are willing to give you Jalen Hurts and Tyreek Hill for, it was Debo,
ETN, and Sam Laporta.
ETN, and Sam Laporta. And, bro, just the restructuring of his team because he had CJ Stroud on his bench. Mm-hmm. So, low-key.
And he was taken off at that time.
Yeah, bro. Right. He had just put up like a, 50-point game or something. Like, dude.
It was going crazy.
It was like he could never use CJ Stroud because he had Jalen Hurts. It's like, why would you ever play Stroud over Hurts? You know what I mean? But after he made that move, he went on like, what was it, 2-game win streak.
2-game win streak.
Because it's the end of the season. It's the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do? And then he lost the last game of the season. Then he goes in the playoffs. And, dude, I guarantee he would have lost the whole season.
It had to have been before the end because CJ actually got hurt too. And then I had to pick up Jake Browning after Cincy whooped our ass. And he was taken off.
Browning was taken off.
I got kind of lucky with my quarterbacks this year.
You did. You definitely did.
Yeah, that's nice. You added some depth for sure. Even though you gave up Tyreek,
I know it was hard giving them up.
Porta was.
He was kind of hit or miss too, though. Like
he'll
have a 3-point game and then have a 23-point game. It's like
how many of your best players were you picking up off the bench? I mean, off the waivers.
Off the waivers, yeah. So we'll talk about that. Definitely number one waiver pickup, and this goes for probably a lot of champions of this year is Kyren Williams from the Rams.
Really?
Yeah.
You say over Nakua? Because that's I'm going to tell you right now, brother, I got Nakua.
Nakua was going.
And then I'm going to even hit you with this. I got Nico Collins.
Oh, right.
Nobody had any idea about Nico Collins. Bro, my whole team is waiver. That's my whole team.
Right.
And tell me about Tyron Williams, because I really don't.
Yeah, Kyren Williams.
Oh, it's Kyren?
Kyren Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a running back for the Rams. Very good at PPR. And our league was PPR based. He's a running back. Lots of dump off passes. That helps with PPR.
Oh, yeah.
He's a touchdown machine and just put up a lot of yards. It's good to have players on an offense like that can just move the ball and keep drives alive. It's very important fantasy to look out for certain teams. Pick up players on those teams.
What kind of points was he putting up? Like 20 points?
Yeah, just consistent, like 20, 25 points a game.
But that wasn't the best player on your team.
No. See, like
who was
McCaffrey and
Tua.
Tua. I had Tua for a little bit.
Did you have Tua when they blew out the Broncos?
I'm not quite sure.
Because the points that day, I picked up Devon Chain after that game because he had 55 points. I was like, what the fuck?
That's
one of the pickups that I didn't get that I wanted to. I actually got a Chain in another league.
Really?
And yeah, a Chain was a big reason I got to the playoffs in that league. But yeah, like all the Dolphins players were just like going off. Mostert, I had Mostert and I picked him up in like 7th or 8th round maybe.
That's crazy.
And
you had Mostert? Oh,
I had Mostert.
God,
and
dude, McCaffrey and Mostert.
That's why he's a champion.
Yeah. And another big one, Keenan Allen. Those were the two big late pickups, Keenan Allen and Mostert, that helped me out the most. And then
Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert.
Good one.
And then mid-season, I put a trade in. I had Tua as my quarterback, but I knew I needed something more than Tua, honestly, to make a run in the championship. I just didn't. He was just on and off, and I was really eyeing Josh Allen. And Hayden had Josh Allen, and I saw he was a little bit.
He was hurt.
A little bit hurting. He was a little thin at running back position, and so I just put the trade out there. It was Tua and Mostert for Josh Allen, and and at the time Tua was like QB3, and Mostert was like RB2, like second best RB at the time, because he put up some 40-point games. And
why'd you want Josh so bad?
I just wanted a consistent quarterback that would put up 20, 25 a game.
Yeah.
And it's just good to have someone like that on your team.
So then who filled Mostert's spot on your team?
Man, I was deep with running backs. That's what I'm saying. Mostert was on my bench. He was
really?
He was one of the best running backs in the league, and I wasn't starting him. I was kind of going matchup by matchup base on my running backs, and I had CMC, Kyren Williams was RB1, RB2, right. And then I had Kamara as my flex. So I was running those three guys the whole season. And it just really wasn't fair. With full point PPR.
This dude had 120 points on the bench every game.
It was unreal.
So when you were drafting, did you go 4 running backs right off the rip? Was it RB? Basically, did you just load it up with running backs? Because I mean, those are how do you get 4 starting running backs on your team?
Yeah, I always like to pick up running back first. I usually do, unless there's a really elite wide receiver out there. But honestly, the pickup of Kyren Williams on the Rams, and then and then Kamara, I got him in the 5th or 6th round because he was suspended for the first 3 or 4 games.
That's right.
And I saw the value there. I was like, I'll just keep him on the bench and then play him mid-season when he comes back. And you have to look out for people like that also that are suspended or injured maybe at the beginning of the season, but they are also elite. So when they get back, they'll just put up crazy amount of points, even though you get them at a good value draft pick.
You also had Waddle too.
And Waddle. Yeah, Waddle was
Waddle had some games, boy.
He did.
That boy, dude.
Yeah.
Waddle was looking like a stud at times, man, because he complements Tyreek Hill so well. Because he I feel like honestly, Waddle could go somewhere and be like a wide receiver 1 if he wanted to.
Definitely.
Kind of like how Christian Kirk was for us like a couple of years ago. But dude, if we're being honest, like having Waddle, like what you had to have gotten Waddle in the 3rd round, 4th round?
He was my 3rd pick.
And he's one of those guys, man, where you wouldn't really think to pick his ass up. I mean, me personally, if I'm going like good wide receiver, like number 1 wide receiver, like my first wide receiver pick, if I'm gonna go for it, I want it to be someone more elite than Waddle. But after looking at how he performed throughout the season, bro, I'm like kind of kicking myself for that.
Right. I was like, I didn't even love my 2nd pick. It was Cooper Kupp, and he was also he was injured.
That's right.
A little bit of the first bit of the season, and it's crazy. I look back at it, and CeeDee Lamb was on the board when I picked up Cooper Kupp.
Damn.
I'm like, wow. Like,
That's how I see. That's how I feel about Tony and
yeah.
McCaffrey. It's like, dude, it's like, how did I miss that? But now going into this next season, it's like I'm gonna be if McCaffrey's there, I'm taking, or if CeeDee's there, I'm taking him. But then those guys aren't going to be the number 1 guys next year. Like that's what's so great about fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like you have to take your bet on somebody, which McCaffrey's already proven himself. Which you got to see that coming. But who thought the Cowboys were going to be as elite as they are?
Was there anybody on your roster that you kept on there even though they didn't perform well? Like, but you just wanted them to do well, but they never did.
Not so much. I play matchups a lot too. But like, for the most part, I was pretty confident in everyone in my starting lineup. Just because the depth, I had so much depth on my bench.
Yeah.
And then I could play. I had all these good players, and I would just play them with who had the best matchup. So there would be really good players like on my bench, like Kamara. I don't think I ever benched Kamara, but there would be players that would typically start, but I didn't want to start them because of the matchup.
Yeah,
and that's smart. A lot of people can't do that shit. Like a lot of people will just be like, "Oh no, I still got to start Tyreek," or whatever it is, because it's like they just love that player so like because they've seen that player go crazy, and they always have that like, "Oh, this could be the week. This could be the week." But that's kind of the battle, bro. Is like, and sometimes they do kind of go off and expose the defense, but at the same time, it's like when you got certain teams, like let's be honest, bro, 49ers defense. Like anytime a team was playing 49ers defense, I was like I did not want to pick, or I didn't want to like start them. If they were on the waivers, I usually wouldn't even pick them up. Because I mean, dude, that 49ers defense, like no one's scoring against that. Let's be honest. If you could choose one person from your fantasy league to have a beer with, who would it be? Or from your fantasy team? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a good question.
Solid.
I would go with.
I know who I'd pick.
Let's just say like Kamara, just because he's like he's a crazy ass dude, and like I don't know, he looks like he looks like he would have a good time. I see him at the clubs in a little bit. So 100%. I don't know, Kamara. So
who would you pick?
I think at first I was thinking Waddle, but after he said Kamara, I'm like, that's
no, from yours. Who would you pick from yours?
Oh, from my team?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've got Trevor.
Trevor, okay. True.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I'd probably do Evan Ingram.
Yeah, Evan Ingram. That's a solid pick. I mean, it's like it's cool to meet a Jax. Did you have any Jax players on your team?
I did not this year.
Really?
No.
Did that hurt?
No.
Because I know from
no, he's a champion. What do you mean?
True.
When the league is based out of Jacksonville, I feel like a lot of those Jags players do get picked up a little earlier than they should.
I got Evan Ingram third round. Was it third?
You got Evan Ingram in the 3rd round, bro.
Right.
I had to make sure nobody else got him.
Travis Kelce like just got off the board. That boy takes Evan Ingram. And now looking back at all the tight ends, like Hawkinson was still on the board, I think, when he took Evan Ingram, bro. Like there was.
And look who I ended up with, Sam Laporta.
Yeah, it's so funny. And I mean, you saw Ingram.
Yeah, played them both. That was great.
Yeah, he would start Ingram at his flex, which is crazy. The dual tight end setup is wild.
I've seen people do that. Play the tight end and a tight end on their flex.
That's what Smitty was doing all season too.
Yeah,
and he had Laporta and Hawkinson before we made the trade for him, I say we like we're fucking like, because dude, I told you I assisted this trade so much, bro. Like I was begging Smitty. I'm
The
like,
phone got handed back and forth like 6 times.
He needs it. I'm on FaceTime. Like the clock is ticking, bro. Like make your choice right now. And then he accepted it on the phone. Like by the end of the conversation, it was incredible.
And then he started winning too, so it was a good trade.
No, no, and well, that's the thing was Smitty was down bad. Mm-hmm. He was like, if you would have caught 2 or 3 wins, you would have been ahead of Smitty. Mm-hmm. And so it was like he was vulnerable. I took advantage of two vulnerable teams to make the league a little bit better,
right?
A little more competitive.
Another topic I wanted to bring up was that the last week of the season, playing for the championship, basically my whole roster I picked up off the waivers, like
really?
Almost everyone, because like most of my players were on their teams had clinched already, right? Mm-hmm. So they're
not
obviously going to sit them,
yeah.
and basically I picked up a whole new squad like off the waivers, and it kind of worked out for me. Like they put up decent numbers.
Every morning when I'd wake up, I'd have a notification from Fantasy Football that says Waddle House removed and dropped players from their team. Yeah. And I'd go and look at it. I'm like, I've never even heard of this guy before. Yeah. And it's funny. Some of the guys, they were like, it was like one of the guys you picked up, he was like a washed big namer, but he had a great game. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. It's funny. I was dropping like all my studs. Like I dropped like CMC. I dropped like Cup, all these big players that were resting, I was just dropping them, and I was like, I don't know who to plug in and play, and I was just kind of like coming up with my options like on the bench, and it ended up working out.
Had a spreadsheet out.
I've always been in leagues. There's been things that I love about the league and then things that I hate about the league, and like I feel like honestly, like for real, we did this league as good as any league that I have ever been in, or like we kind of did everything that I wanted to do with a fantasy football league. Mm-hmm. You know, the draft party,
right?
Just having everybody in the group chat every single Sunday, dogging each other, talking shit, dropping the memes, going off on each other, and then me and Joey are able to come on here and talk about it, kind of like say how everyone's feeling, but also kind of say how we're feeling about certain shit, and then just with the way that the party went and everything, just kind of finished up at the end of the season, bro. It's like everything truly went like perfect, and man, shout out to y'all boys. Quick little round of applause for y'all boys, because I couldn't have done it without y'all.
And shout out to our commissioner for putting it all together.
Look, did what I had to do.
Great job.
Did what I had to do. But look, what a great set of guys to do it with. I mean, shout out to everyone that was in the league.
Yeah,
like it was such
a good time.
It was a competitive league. That's what I wanted.
Very much so.
Like I wanted, dude, 5-way tie for the last 3 playoff spots, and the only person that was locked in, Scott was locked in fucking week 6.
Yeah, Scott.
And boy, it was just like he had so many points, which is funny to talk about points because my ass was like 3rd lowest in overall points scored. I just got lucky with the matchups that I was playing.
You did. You came out of nowhere, and you got hot. And you ran with it. My boy Josh Allen came through though.
He did.
That was it. And it's crazy to think about. I look at it, and if I didn't make that trade mid-season and get him and stuck with Tua the whole time, Tua only put up, I think, 12 or 13 points at that last game.
So it would have been like,
and you probably would have won.
Yeah, because I had James Cook. That's right.
You had James Cook. It would have been James Cook versus Tua. I think it was like 50-50 was the percent going into that last game. He had the running back. I had Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, I don't know if you were watching the game, but he started out with 2 interceptions right off the bat. And was at like 0 points. And I was like, the projections just like were swaying like back and forth. Like next thing you know,
that's
like
scary.
you're 70% chance you win, and then like all of a sudden Josh Allen just like lights it up, and that's crazy to like. I don't know. He's the one that will have 0 points in the first like quarter or 2, and then next thing you know, like he's at like 20 or 25 fantasy
what
points.
What did he finish with
of that game?
Yeah.
Like 23 points.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Josh Allen, man. He saved you, bro.
Shout out Josh
and I'll tell you what though, it would have kind of felt wrong if somebody else won the trophy. If someone else won the league, because it was like he was so dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was just undeniable, I feel like. And last week, bro, I was trying to make some waiver pickups and like maybe spice my team up a little bit, but I was just comfortable with it. I thought Njoku was gonna have a big week, and I was just it just all fell flat, man. So shout out to you. You're the fucking man. Want to get into Joey's top 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Joey's top 3. Brother, kick it off. I know you got a good one brewing in there today.
Yeah, of course. It's a good one for me. I want to hear your top 3 tips for beginners in fantasy football.
That is great for you.
I need this.
Okay.
That is wonderful for you. Please, we need this. Get a notepad, Joe.
Yeah. So first tip, and I think I mentioned this early in the pod, was try to get players on like good offenses. And even if you're like a superstar on a mediocre team or a team that doesn't put up points, and a lot of it's like the coaching and stuff like that too. You really want to get players on those good teams like the 49ers and the Rams and even the Cardinals, and make sure they have a good quarterback and a good system for players to succeed. And really like try to stick to those to players on
Like an established team.
Yeah, on better teams. That's number one.
Yeah.
Look for a high-powered offense and target players for that. And then number two, and we're just saying this, pay attention to the format of the league. So whether it's a full-point PPR, a half-point PPR, the scoring with quarterbacks, stuff like that. I knew our team was full-point PPR, so you got to target the running backs that they dump it off to. Rams running back, Kamara is a really good PPR running back. CMC is amazing PPR running back.
Amazing. And
even wide receivers that get more touches and maybe not get so many yards. Tyreek Hill is a really good receiver at PPR, stuff like that. So just pay attention to the format and the rules of the league.
That's a really good
before
one.
you draft.
That's a really solid one. And then what's number 3?
Pay attention to the waivers mid-season. So if you do have a good like high-powered offense running back, and if their running back gets hurt, that their RB2 could turn into a RB1 like instantly. And I think that happens. I mean, it happens every year.
Nick Chubb.
Nick.
And then Ford, bro. Nick
Nick Chubb
Ford.
getting hurt.
And
Then,
he was a stud, bro. Jerome Ford ended up being a stud, man. And then you had a couple guys. Was it the Ravens running back? I think got injured, and then his backup was pretty solid too, or maybe it was Minnesota's. It was a purple team. One of those two.
It's funny, Minnesota. It happens in Minnesota quite a bit. I think when Dalvin Cook got injured, then Madison stepped in, and Madison was putting up big numbers, and then I think the same thing happened to when Madison got hurt. The next guy up, he would put up big numbers, and a part of that is due to a really good offensive line, so they can plug and play any running back, and he can be fantasy relevant in a matter of no time, just based off an injury. Yeah. So just pay attention to those waiver pickups.
I like that. What player do you think had the most hype going into the season and then just completely shot the bed?
Ooh, good question.
I got mine.
Mine.
Do you want me to start mine?
Started off all.
Should we just do Joey's out the way?
Calvin Ridley. I'm so tired of Calvin Ridley.
I knew this is coming, brother. So I think, is this going to be the last time that we hear you talk shit about Calvin Ridley?
Probably not.
Okay. I didn't know if we were going to.
All right, who's yours?
Mine is Najee Harris. I didn't even have him on a team or anything, but I was just expecting him to be a stud this year, and he was just not, bro. And I don't know, it just surprised the fuck out of me. I was expecting him, he was one of those guys where he was going in before the second round in a lot of leagues. He's got that big, he's a big body running back. He's just, I was expecting him to do a lot more, and he kind of just underperformed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know who you'd put?
I would say maybe some of the rookie running backs this year, like Bijan and for the Falcons, and then Gibbs. They had good seasons, but a lot of people had them ranked very high based on their talent coming out of college, thinking they would just put up amazing numbers, and especially Bijan being the RB1 of the Falcons. And I had him in another league, and he just was so average. Would put up 25 one week, 20, and then then 3 weeks in a row couldn't break 5 points. It's he's so talented, and
I thought Bijan Robinson was going to be a stud this year, bro. I thought he was going to be the breakout running back. And who got him? Was it Hayden? Someone got him, and then they ended up dropping him by the 4th or 5th week and no one even wanted to pick him up, really. I think someone may have picked him up, but it was just he just kind of got passed around a couple teams. He was one of those guys, too, where in the draft, on draft day, I was really high on him. I thought I wanted to take him if I could have, but Yeah, that's a great one, bro.
Yeah, Bijan's
that's
a really good one.
Will we see you next year
Of
in
course.
the OG Sessions Fantasy Football League,
Yeah,
brother?
I'll be back.
Okay,
Definitely to
get
another one of these right here,
brother. Good luck, because I'll tell you, I'm coming after you next season, bro.
I know you are. I know everyone's gonna be coming after me.
But hey, man, to wrap this thing up, you deserved it, dude. Absolute honor having you in the Fantasy Football League. I knew that you were going to kind of come into this thing and kind of claim your territory early on. You know what I mean? But brother, you crushed it, man. You deserved it. And I think next year we got to figure out a way to get you like drafting 10th or some shit. You know, boys, this is the end of the 2023 first inaugural OG Sessions Podcast Fantasy Football League. Man, it has been an absolute honor, boys. We are out.
Peace.